guys, we're back. We just finished round 3 of our streaming tournament. I'm here with Aaron, my opponent. How are you, Aaron?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself, Eric?
I'm doing well, thanks. Good to see you. Good to be back in person gaming here, for us at least. So let's start with deployment. How'd it go for you?
I think I deployed a little too conservatively, but I gave myself some options, just depending on what you did. I really didn't have a preference on going first or second, really, but I wanted to set up so I have options either way.
Mm-hmm.
So I castled pretty hard in the back corner while still...
Go back here, right?
Yeah, right back there.
Okay.
And then while still giving myself some options over here and here. And I think there was another Vanguard unit hiding around here somewhere.
And for me, I was not familiar with this deployment zone.
Control C.
Yep, Shift C. And so I was not used to this. So the deployment zone here, actually, it starts at the halfway point and goes to this corner. I'm not familiar with that. I like to put my mandrakes in a position where they can get deploy scramblers in the middle ground first. And my plan was to bait Aaron to charge them and then leave all this open real estate back here so I could get some counter charges in. Unfortunately, he was able to, as you see here, he's moving into position and nuked both of them very early on. So it was like bad news.
Over in the corner over here, I moved up some vanguards. They were here. Now they're here. So I was trying to think of some ways to like threaten this middle objective, get some points, and then I think I was then the only options I had for killing right now were to remove these mandrakes, give me some options. I moved another, or no, I moved. Okay. Well, either way, one of them came from here, one came here, Vanguard there. So I had options either way. I had some shooting available to me to pick up some mandrakes. I believe it was with the incursors over here. Get some shooting into them. And
yeah, for me, I'm trying to avoid this mass. This is exactly what I'm trying to avoid. I'm not going to go toe-to-toe with a gargantuan mass of Vanguard. I wanted you guys to spread out a little bit, which thankfully you did. I knew I was going to lose a couple trades, but if I won more trades than I lost, I thought I'd do okay. But as we'll see as the game goes through, it didn't quite work out as planned, but a lot of things didn't go as planned for both of us. Interesting with the 9th edition terrain rules, these forests became very important. A lot of -1s that came to hit became a big issue for both of us. When the little shooting that each of us have, both of us have heavy hitting shooting. So
as you see over here, I moved some vanguards over here while still keeping my vanguard over here to be on this objective. I was able to remove this while I was shooting from incursors and some others, probably these guys too. So the vanguard will come in here. They should wipe this unit of mandrakes, no problem. And so I did. Moved in, threat to what I did here. I came in, I was able to get my engage on all fronts points by moving them past the midpoint here. That was a terrible line. But yeah, they got 2 engage on all front points there.
Right. So as I mentioned, I wanted him to take advantage. I had all this real estate. So one of the early, this is back from 8th edition, I used to use this tactic. I've got Incubi in the Venom, so it gives an 11-inch disembark. Now with the new rules, I can even advance and charge because I made them a black art, so they get a +1, but I didn't have to worry about it. So as these guys are piling out, I didn't even have to advance. I'm also going to move the Venom over here. So I originally put it in the middle in case I fail to charge. He's got to go through the Venom before he gets to my Incubi, but the idea is I want to take advantage of the Grizzly trophies and make sure that he swings last. Wasn't really that much needed, but I was able to blow up the squad, but unfortunately left me wide open. This seems to be the theme of the game. Incubi go in, they wipe out a squad, and then they're kind of left in the wind a little bit. So I'm gonna work on my positioning a little bit better. Over here at the top, I'm just trying to gather some points, hold the objective. The Hellions, this is the one time they've underperformed for me. They've done really well in previous games, so I'm surprised by that. But
yeah, they were in part of my game planning session. I was trying to set up to minimize like the mortal wound. I was concerned about the mortal wound flybys.
Yeah.
And I was setting up, balling up to prevent that, trying to minimize that as much as possible. I didn't want you to snipe any characters or any units for free, pretty much.
And I took Assassinate with that in mind. I also knew once I took out the Apothecary that hopefully the multi-wound damage that I have should fillet through some Marines, but I never got to the Apothecary, so that was always a problem dealing with the blob. So then the game stay away from the blob. So
let's bear here.
So this one doing one of my favorite new toys is this right here. It is a raider with splinter axe filled with Trueborn. So they have a pretty large threat range. Heavy weapons are hitting on 2s, and so all your dark light weapons, but then also the splinter weapons are 24-inch rapid fire, so they're 2 shots and within 24 inches, and also hitting on 2s, which is pretty handy.
So this right here was a pretty early point swing, being able to keep them alive.
Yeah.
So they scored me a bunch of, or what was that? That was 15 right away.
Mm-hmm.
And then they got me points for not failing leadership and all that. Then I was on turn 2 because I took priority objectives, so it scores on my turn. So they were able to come in here, land over here, and score even more points, which you'll see in a minute. So them staying alive here was pretty clutch.
Should have allocated a little more to that. I have, for example, here there's a Venom with Incubi in there. Probably should have either gone forward or charged. Venoms are actually decent in close combat. At the very least, stop them from moving forward, which will, as Aaron pointed out, cost me a couple points here and there, and it all adds up in the end.
All right, so down there we see some. We see some my Vanguard being removed. Maybe it wasn't the best trade, but it ended up working out in my favor down there. Able to tar pit, do some stuff, get those Incubi out.
Yeah, I thought I'd be a little safe behind that wall.
Yeah, I thought you were until I was checking line of sight and saw some leg.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, that's a problem. So,
yeah.
So again, positioning very key in this game.
Go round 2. So as I said, these guys come up here. Get me those points right there. Super clutch. There's pre-measuring here. I think I committed anything here. There's my back. There. Alright. Let's see what's in here. Yeah, just getting more guys on the objective. 5 bodies on that objective. Makes it harder to take away than 1 body. Let's see what we've got here. So here I am moving up there. The original plan was just to pop this Venom with Melta. But I was able to see like this guy's leg right there. So then I was able to put all my bolters, all my Melta into that guy. Super useful. What's it called? Bikers moving flat 14 plus 6 minus 2. So they move 18, and then being able to White Scars turn my rapid fire heavy weapons into assault weapons. Able to put a big hurting down here. I am over here. Trying to break out of my ball up here. Setting up for next turn. I didn't think that they would be super high on Eric's priority list by moving out here. Blade Guard come out, protect my characters, and then they get in better position for later game. These intercessors here gonna come in. I was able to see some fin over here, so they were gonna shoot, remove. These incursors come in, put more pressure over here. So then force Eric to deal with these incursors while stopping from scoring points. See what we got here. Vanguard moving up into the terrain, just putting a -1 to hit up on them, and whilst getting them in position. So this turn was just me breaking out of my castle. Really, setting up for later games, later turns. And so here we go. Went through. Here we go, starting to pick up stuff. There goes Incubi. Here we go. Help is into there. Yeah, White Scars with the stratagem to turn their heavy into assault weapons. Really clutch here, and then being White Scars, they ignore the penalty for assault weapons, so hitting on 3s normally. Didn't really make use of the other parts of their trait this game with a fallback and charge, and then advance and charge. Or no, I used the advance and charge. I didn't use the fallback and charge that much, but yeah. Came in, hit up the bottom. A little bit.
At this point, it's like you're still cleaning up some more stuff up there. I'm looking at the attack bikes here. I'm like, okay, they're finally a target, so I'm like, okay, I need to take those off the table. So I was trying to set up and unfortunately all this is down here is being removed, so I'm like, okay, how am I going to make all this work? So the idea is also didn't find out after the point with Oath of Omen.
Yeah.
picking up extra points for being in the middle. So we're gonna disengage some of my heavy hitters from this boat. This is the shooty boat, so they're gonna get in position. I'm gonna try and take all these off, and then at least claim this objective, and then start the threat in this general direction. A little sooner than I wanted to be. I'd like to do this on turn 3 whenever I got +1 to hit close combat, but I don't have a choice at this point. I'm running out of time. I don't want to let him build up to too big of a lead, but it's starting to slip away from me already. So I was like, okay, let's take some stuff out of here and see what happens. But I see this nonsense up here, so that's between the intercessors and the blade guard. I know I couldn't kill both, but the idea was I don't want him getting close to this objective. So the idea is I'm going to trade. I'm going to move the Reavers to here, and I'm going to move the Hellions over there. I've had a lot of success with Hellions so far in my game, so I thought this would be a pretty simple elimination, and that did not pan out as planned. And but that all in all, I knew I wasn't going to kill the blade guard. So they probably would have killed. I didn't realize they did 3 damage. So yeah, they would have wiped out.
They do 2, and then when all my doctrines are up, then they do 3.
Great. So that part isn't the big mistake. Is if we watch here how these Reavers are positioned, see how far forward they are. They don't need to be there. If they're just doing this and lipping the edge of the objective, that probably would add 3-4 inches to the charge that you're going to see on Aaron's turn. So.
Yeah, but to counter your point here, I could have spent the CP for the 3-6 charge there.
Fair enough, but. Unless you're how many CP you had at this point, you're already down to 8. So yeah, go ahead, start picking up some CP. I'm okay with that. But yeah, the fact that you didn't have to, and then also you wouldn't be able. You can only spend that once per phase. The other thing that gets you is I need these guys.
Right. So yeah, that was here. Maybe got a little greedy up here, as we'll see in a minute. Like I don't. These guys end up living because you're trying to chunk these guys. Yep. So, where are we? So yeah, we're trying to clear out. You're trying to clear out the intercessors. Got a little greedy. I don't know how with like what is it? Strength 6 -1 2 damage. I'm not sure how reliable taking out a chunk of blade guard was there with them. Because they're going to be tough for 2 up armor, 4 up invuln save with a 6 up feel no pain. Yeah. So where are we right now?
You're just finishing up my 2 here.
Yep, so just finish up some shooting. Over here. The mistake I made here, I should have pulled this guy. Why can't I click? Yeah, so I should have pulled that earlier, so then that would have changed the line of sight for Eric's heat lances. I would have had more intercessors left. Now we're going to assault. So like I said, I think this play might have been a little greedy. Over there. What are these? This is your incubi, right?
Just incubi taking the center, and then incubi here in the middle, taking those out. Super racks there, taking this objective. I think you had like 2 vanguard left after shooting. So, and then I think the grotesques are right here as well. So cleaning that off, so I can make sure I can at least get next turn. And then Michaelis, I think I have.
You had the Archon.
Archon and the Succubus in there, or the last remaining playbacks. Yeah.
Yep. So we'll get into that in a minute because I think that's where my big misplanned game was on this next turn.
The playbacks was down to 1 wound, and the Archon's in there as well. There's not a missed opportunity here. This is a raider full of witches. We pretty much had season tickets to the game and didn't do a whole lot. And so here's an opportunity. I could have put them in reserve. So I could put back pressure in later rounds on these edges. So this whole back edge later, but we'll talk about that when we get to it.
So here's where I think I could have put a bigger hurt on Eric than I did here. So obviously these blade guard here coming up. It's going to reinforce that with the super apothecary. Good pop here out there, these guys in here. So what I should have done here is these bikes should have come across this way instead. So then I should have used my plasma here and here to clear up over here. These Vanguard come in here. There, the plasma or the Melta over that bike set would have been over this area would come and pop this Venom. Would his Archon and his Incubi would come out. The Vanguard that were here could have popped out, assaulted both, and I would have used Hammer of Wrath, and that to do so. It's a stratagem where I roll a dice for each model in the unit. For each dice that rolls over the toughness, you take one mortal wound. So that would just cleared out the Incubi right there. I don't have to worry about his shenanigans for making me fight last. And then I could have just used all my Vanguard, which are now turn 3, 2 damage per, and put them into this Archon. I feel Archons could go either way, but I feel like there would be a lot of saves he would have to make. So I feel like that was pretty reliable there. And then that would have cleared up this corner, and then I would still be able to clear up this. So really, I should just have this side of the board. Actually, it would just kind of limit Eric to over here, and everything else should be cleared out. And I think that would have been the better play than what happened here.
Yeah, because having those guys hang around for a couple turns did pick up a lot of extra points.
Yeah.
And
so I think that, like, had I made that play, I think the game could have been put away right there, honestly.
Yep. Had a lot of resources in this area as well. So as these guys attack, these are the attack bikes, right? Right here.
Yep.
So once again at center, so it gives me more opportunity to go back to the front. But in the meantime, I'm still here. You can see this is another key move. I'm losing Reaver bikes left and right. The important thing, which you probably didn't see, was that lone intercessor, whose object secured. Aaron spent the 2 command points for insane bravery. With my guys right there, he would have been easily losing that model to base. He goes there and just tags the objective. So even if he doesn't make the charge, regardless of shenanigans, I'm losing 5 points.
So I was a little concerned with this play here. I thought it was reliably safe, but not 100% certain because Eric took assassinates. He could have committed this turn to bring this guy over here and possibly take out one of my characters here, which was a little bit of my concern. But I think with all the pressure I'm putting elsewhere, I still don't know if that was the best play, but it could have put a hampering on any further game plans I had.
So this put a little cramp into my, because those are the Reavers and my Hellions are kind of my heavy lifters for my army. So I'm like, okay.
Pretty fortunate you didn't roll any 6s for saves. That was one of the things during prep where I was a little concerned of like, how am I going to deal with all this witch stuff without taking mortal wounds on myself?
Yeah.
So I was concerned about my Vanguard putting out like 1 billion attacks and then just losing them for no reason.
Yeah, it's for those of you who don't know, I took Cult of Cursed Blade. Every time I take a save of a 6, I'm modified 6 in close combat, my attacker takes a mortal wound back. In practice games, it's not something where I'm going to wipe a squad in reserve, but it's nice to see, like, especially with Terminators and other heavy Marine builds, they lose 1 or 2 guys, and as they go down in the pile. So none of it happened. I did not roll a single 6, but again, it goes back to positioning. I shouldn't have had to roll 6s. I should have been in better position to force harder charges. So I'm not going to worry about that. So at this point, I am scrambling to eliminate this nonsense in the middle, so I'll be able to wipe out the attack bikes. So now at least I know my boats are semi-safe. I still have the plasma inceptors to worry about when it comes to long-range shooting. And sooner over here.
And I also spent a transhuman here that I shouldn't have, and we'll get into where that could have helped me later in the game.
Oh, that's good to know. Yeah, I did vec that afterward. I should have done it the first time. Cost an extra command point here and there. But again, it's funny, we were talking about vect with the new rules. It really forces you as a Drukhari player to know every single army in the game, because you need to know what my opponent is going to play often. And so you know which stratagem to bulk up.
So
yeah. So first let's take a look. Here's the score. I am down by a boatload.
So yeah. So this is. I looked at the score here and realized that I didn't need to be aggressive anymore. I think I had the point if I protected my character since he took assassinate. So at this point, I decided he's not killing any of my characters for the rest of the game. And then wasn't sure. I didn't think I had the strength of numbers and all that to like be able to do anything effective offensively for the rest of the game here, but I also didn't think I needed to. Like, I have some plasma here and here. They came out, they shoot here. I don't think really anything they did would be non-consequential. Like, I wanted him to deal with the stuff here, so I didn't supercharge or anything. Could have done a little more offense, but I didn't think it was needed. So over here, I've decided that I'm just going to castle, or just, there's an infiltrator squad back here, and then all my blade guard and all my characters are back here. And my goal here was just to keep everything safe and not lose anything I didn't really need to at any point. This guy is over here, so give me 2 engage in all fronts points. And yeah, so then we're just going to wait out Eric, because I think I can sit on this game now at this point and not do anything and win.
Yeah, so at this point, I've got still a Klavex left, so he's still infantry, and those are one-man, so he's only one left. So he's making a mad dash this way to get that last deploy scrambler. I've got my Succubus and Archon over here, so they're kind of moseying their way this way, trying to deny him those engage points, and also by eliminating him, I would pick up points for Parade the Week or something like that. One of the Drukhari ones, basically, as long as I keep this border clear, I'll get an extra point. I moved this is the Trueborn, so I'm now blowing, trying to blow this stuff away, and this is where I realized I did make a mistake. I have a boat of witches that's really over here. All it was back up for additional shooting. Should have put them in reserves.
All right. Yeah. So right here is where this turn, where me spending that transhuman I didn't need to bit me. So the plan, I realized, and it cost me 2 more victory points, which was big when we're talking about the strategy, just waiting out your opponent. So what I should have done here, if I still had those, I would be, transhuman, I would have 3 command points, which would be more than enough to get the job done here. So we're going to advance the guy, my 1 intercessor over here with the +1 advance over here. And then I would do the 2 command point stratagem for Wind Swift, which is the White Scar stratagem. Let me double move. So it put me over here. I would have gotten an engage in all fronts over here, while bringing the Blade Guard over here to take out this. I would have got, so in addition to getting all of my, or getting Oaths of Moment, like come over here, I could have gotten this, force Eric to deal with that. That would also potentially have costed him 2 points on his herd, Pray the Herd or whatever it's called. Mm-hmm. And then I would have gotten 2 more, so that actually brought me up to, or what would we decide, 82 or something here. Well, and then now he's forced to deal with these guys, so to keep me off of my Oath of Moment. So dealing with that guy and all these with limited guns might have been a big ask. He wouldn't be able to just dedicate everything over here.
So I had more than enough theme of the game where I'm overextending my forces to take care of threats. So this witch squad getting out from this raider here, mistake. What should have done back on turn 3, put him in reserve. There's a nifty little strategy for that. As you can see now, this is wide open. I could have put them Brad out, and yeah, he has the Phobos unit. They could have forced me 12 inches away. Don't really care. So sit there. I can get with the move and the disembark, get 11 inches. I don't even have to kill him. I don't even have to get into charge range. All I have to do is touch the objective. I probably have 10 guys to his 5. I win that objective. Not so much me getting the extra points. It just denies him on turn 4 and turn 5 points from primary. And as you'll see here, a little bit of a change in the scoreboard here. So what used to be was a huge lead, whittled it down, but Aaron did the right move by keeping his characters. So all your characters pretty much up here, right?
Yep, all of 3 of them.
Yeah, all 3 of them up there. So that is a big goose egg on Assassinate. So there we are on the post. Oh. So there we are.
Look at that handsome devil right there.
Yeah, look at that. Good lord. How the fuck have I gotten during COVID? All right, we got to work on that. So, great game. A lot to learn from, both for myself, and I hope you guys are watching at home. We kind of talked about what we would do different next time. Anything we change in the list at this point here?
I've contemplated adding company veterans, but I don't like what I have to cut for that. Mm-hmm. The company veterans has just been like, I can hang on my characters, grab an objective, and just have them be you can't shoot me.
Mm-hmm. Matt asked me a great question afterward. Would it make more sense to have more OPSEC in my list? I'm not sure. I have a lot of heavy hitters. I don't have to play with that a little bit, because I do think that I have too much hitting, not enough holding. So maybe a second unit racks may work a little bit better. So that's one of the things I'd probably think about changes from there. So your next matchup is going to be either against Dimacharion, Tyranids, or Death Guard. What are your thoughts?
I don't like either of those.
Okay.
Because the Dimacharions, for anybody who don't know the list, it's basically new Tyranid Gene Stealers are from 8th edition. Mm-hmm. So the Dimacharions are going to move stupid fast, somewhere between like 40 and 60 inches, something stupid like that I I don't remember all the math
Okay.
for it, but it's not favorable for me. And then White Scars do is +1 damage, not good for Death Guard.